you're doing well, and bienvenidos to the next lesson. This lesson is about accents. Spanish is a little different from English when it comes to pronunciation because some of the words in Spanish will have a written accent on the word. We're going to talk about that in the lesson, and we're going to learn the rules. What to do when a word has a written accent, what to do when a word does not have a written accent. You ready to get started? All right. Vámonos. Join with me, and I'm going to read here off the chart and introduce the lesson. Let's get started. Ahora vamos a hablar acerca de acentos. Palabras con un acento escrito y palabras sin un acento escrito. Primero, vamos a ver las palabras con un acento escrito. Excelente. Here's a word that has a written accent on it. Look carefully right here, and you can see that the A has a written accent above it. That is put on the word not by me, the teacher, and not by you, the student. It is predetermined. It is part of the spelling of the word. When you go to the dictionary and look up this word mecánico, you're going to find it in the dictionary written just this way. And it's going to have, on top of the A, it's going to have an accent. The accent is this small mark that leans here to the right above the vowel. Now, accent marks are only found on top of vowels. It will either be on top of an A, or an E, or an E, or an O, or an U. That's the only place you find accents that are on top of vowels. And what the accent is telling us to do is that on that syllable, we need to raise the tone of our voice. That's where we put emphasis on that word. So when we're reading a word, instead of saying mecánico, mecánico, straight across, you actually have a rhythm to the language. It's almost like music. Mecánico, mecánico, mecánico. So the me is down low. So take the me and start with the me, it's low. And then go with the ka, and the ka is going to be up. And then the ni is going to be back down, and the ko will be back down. Mecánico, mecánico. That's the rule. When you have a word with a written accent on it, just raise the tone of your voice on that syllable. Automóvil, automóvil. Read it with me. Automóvil. Probably some of the words are going to give you the most difficulty if you're reading them for the first time will be some of the words that have written accents, because it breaks the normal rhythm that a word would normally take. Automóvil. Say it. Automóvil. Excelente. Teléfono. 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 I don't know why, but new students always want to say teléfono. But it has an accent on top of the le, so we must raise our voice here. So we say teléfono. 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 That's all we have to worry with. When it has an accent, raise our voice on top of the accent. Follow the accent mark. Wherever it goes up, go up there with your voice on that syllable. And of course, listen closely when you hear Spanish people speaking, you will hear them pronounce the word correctly. And so that will help you some also. But now as a beginner, we need to practice it and work with it. Now, sometimes words do not have a written accent. What do we do when we don't have a written accent? Let's look at the rules here. Ahora vamos a ver palabras sin un acento escrito. So, here's the rules. All words ending with vowels. So if the last letter of the word is a vowel, that's the A, E, I, O, or the U. Or if the last letter is an N or an S, you have a natural accent on the next to last syllable. Look at this word right here at the bottom. Catorce. Catorce. The natural accent is on this syllable because it ends with a vowel. So we come back to this syllable and we emphasize this syllable and we pronounce the word catorce. Catorce. Read that with me. Catorce. That's because the rule tells us if it ends with a vowel, if the last letter is a vowel, or if the last letter is an N, or the last letter is an S, then it's the next to last syllable that is going to get emphasized. Now there's a little chart, like I told you, you can print right here from the website, or you'll have one in the classroom handed out to you about these rules. Let's look at some words that end with vowels. Here's one. Chocolate. Say it. Chocolate. Yeah, this is Spanish. Chocolate. Because it ends with a vowel, it's the next to last syllable that's emphasized. Chocolate. This will be the easiest group of words for you. This is very natural, and you don't even have to think about it. You just pronounce the words. It'll come out naturally as you're reading the words in Spanish. But I thought you would want to know the rule, so that's the rule. Now, all other words, let's look at the rule here. All other words ending with consonants other than the N or the S, they have a natural accent on the last syllable. The last syllable. So, let's look at a few of them. If a word ends with an R, if the last letter of the word is an R, we're going to go up on the last syllable. Hablar. Hablar. If the last letter is an L, natural. Natural. We go up on the N. If the last letter, whoops, wrong direction. If the last letter is a D, ciudad. Ciudad. We're going to go up on the N. Now, ciudad means city. If the last letter is a Z, we go up on the N. Incapaz. Incapaz. Which means incapable. Hey, excelente. That's the rules. Let's look at a couple of words together and see if you could figure out which syllable gets emphasized. And we're going to use what we call perfect cognates a little bit. A perfect cognate is a word like this word. In English, we say horrible. Well, in Spanish, they say horrible. Let's see how we can figure that out. We're going to learn in the next lesson how to divide words into syllables. See where I'm dividing it? We have 3 syllables, and the last syllable ends with a vowel, so it's going to be this syllable, the next to last syllable, that gets emphasized right here. So when we pronounce it, remember that the H is silent, so we start with that letter O, and we say horrible. Horrible. Read that with me. Horrible. The next one. Look at the syllables. I'll divide them for us. It ends with a consonant, so we're going to go up on the N. So the last syllable gets emphasized, is pronounced natural. Natural. Read it with me. Natural. Magnifico. Again, here's our 3 syllables. This one ends with a consonant, ends with an R, so we're going to go up on the N. So we pronounce it popular. Read it. Popular. Excelente. Now remember, this is an O. Po. This is an U. Pu. Lar. Popular. Good. One more we'll do together. Divide it into syllables. It ends with the vowel, so it's the next to last syllable that gets emphasized. So we'll go up there on the middle. Sociable. Read it with me. Sociable. Hey, very good. This one is pronounced terrible. Repeat after me. Terrible. Tropical. Tropical. Super. Has a written accent. Super. El color. Read it. El color. El chocolate. El chocolate. El doctor. El doctor. La doctora. La doctora. El hotel. Because it ends with a consonant, with an L, we're going up on the N. El motel. Read it. El motel. El libro. This is not a cognate word. It means the book. El libro. El motor. Read it. El motor. La banana. This is a Spanish word and an English word. Read it with me. La banana. La fiesta. La fiesta. La plaza. La plaza. La casa. La casa. La mesa. See how we're giving a rhythm? We don't say la mesa. We don't say la mesa. We say la mesa. La mesa. That's the rhythm of the language. It's very simple, but you want to remember that if you have a written accent, that's where you have to put your emphasis. If there's not a written accent, follow your rules. If it ends with a vowel, like this one, then it's the next to last syllable. If it ends with a consonant other than the N or S, it's going to be the last syllable that you emphasize. Pretty simple. Hey, you want to practice just pronouncing words. Use your audio CD and your book, and there's a section there in this lesson about accents that you can just practice pronouncing words. About 100 words in there, and most of them are what we call cognates. It means they're very similar to English, so you will probably recognize what they mean, words that you already know in Spanish. Give it a chance. Try practicing words, just pronouncing them right out of your book, and use your audio CD to go along with it. Excelente. Hey, muchas gracias. And in the next lesson, we're going to look at the syllables. How do I divide a word into syllables so I can find the correct syllable to emphasize? It's a real simple lesson, but we want to go over that one. Once we finish the syllables, then we're through with all the pronunciation. We'll be ready to go into the language. All right. Muchas gracias. We'll see you later. Adios.